Hello, I'm Matt Kay. I'm the product manager of Old School Runescape.
I'm Mod Ash and I'm a principal content developer.
My name is Mod Rock. I am a QA analyst for Old School Runescape.
Hi, I'm Mod John C and I'm a producer for Old School and Old School Mobile.
I'm Mod Sween and I'm the community manager for Old School Runescape.
I'm Mod Kieren. I'm a senior content developer for Old School Runescape.
My name's Gareth, also known as Mod Ghost. I work as a senior artist on Old School Runescape.
I think my favourite moment over the last 5 years has been back in 2014 when I was writing bank tabs for Old School. You see, it's a feature that the other RuneScape already had, but through years of playing that version of RuneScape and some hindsight, I was able to design the Old School ones quite differently, and we got some features in there that Old School players were very happy about.
My favourite moment in Old School so far has to be when we launched free-to-play. Just seeing that rush of new accounts come in, people not knowing what to do, like the whole community got involved, pure nostalgia rush, it really hit me, and that day was just one of the best ever.
My favourite thing in Old School over the last 5 years has to be the release of raids. It's just amazing to see players' interaction with it.
Just has to be the release of the Inferno.
So for me, my favourite thing about working on Old School RuneScape is seeing how far we've come in the time we've actually been working on the product together.
Favourite moment in Old School's history probably is the poll announcing Old School's release and then the subsequent release of it.
Has to be the last Dead Man tournament. It's been 2.5 years we've been working on trying to get it to a really good place, and the last tournament, I think the players will agree, was absolutely fantastic.
I'm particularly proud of the music track called Coil. It's played in the Zora boss fight. I wrote that back in the Christmas of 2014 for the Zora launch, and I'm very proud of how that went down.
The thing I'm most proud about working on Old School RuneScape is developing the art style as the years have gone by. When we first started on the game, everything was quite busy and didn't really kind of suit what the engine could do. But by simplifying things and looking at much more broader shape, language and stronger silhouettes, we've actually been able to develop something that looks like it's almost intentional for the engine, as opposed to something that's trying to be something that it can never be.
So I want to say that the thing I'm most proud of is Old School Mobile, but we're not finished yet. So I'm actually going to say Achievement Diaries. We had a bit of a wobbly release, but once that was done, we had 10 Achievement Diaries in the game all at once. And they're such great content, they add so much to the game and give every player something to strive for.
One thing that I've worked on, which I'm quite proud of, was Zaya. I did a lot of the design for that, a lot of the mapping for it as well, so designing the map rather than doing the mapping itself. And how that came out, I mean, it needed a lot of work to get it to a much better place, but I was really pleased that something I had done got into game and players played it.
The thing that I'm probably most proud on was I had the fortunate ability to work on raids and the Inferno. Two of the hardest pieces of content that have ever come into this game are absolutely amazing from a technical standpoint as well as a player's one.
In January 2014, when I took the job here, I was rank 4 on the high scores in Old School.
When I was younger, at school, I was forced by my parents to enter the Queen Mother's handwriting competition, and they were so rigorous about how well I could handwrite that I ended up winning that 6 years in a row.
In my spare time, I do accountancy services for local charities.
Something you might not know about me is that before I came to Jagex, my job was importing forklift trucks from China.
One thing that the community doesn't know about me, well, I've got a sick life pro tip for you, because all of my socks are the same kind. Now you might be thinking, why? Why would he say that on camera? But just think, all those times you spent doing the laundry, where you have to pair all those socks together, combine them, stick them in your drawer. Nightmare. I can just get a pile of socks, stick them in my drawer, and each day take 2 out. It's wonderful.
So not Jagex related, not RuneScape related, I'm an FA certified goalkeeping coach.
More cool content, making more players even happier.
In 2023, I would love to see us hosting esports events at football stadiums like Wembley. We're going around the world hosting RuneFest style events in every major country. We're on mobile and we're huge. We continue to grow. The community is still making all our decisions, and maybe we're on console as well.
What I want to see in the next 5 years of Old School is the game to continue to grow and grow. We'll keep adding on cool content, and I want to make sure the community stays at the heart of everything we do.
In the years to come, I hope that the Old School team continues to work well together and we improve our productivity and our output, and we continue to deliver the product that our players want.
I'd like to see much more integration with the players as well, so they have a much bigger say on what we do, and maybe even start creating their own content themselves, which we can then help incorporate into game.
In terms of content, I want more challenging PVM stuff. I want better raids, which with the Theatre of Blood coming now, or soon, that should be a good introduction to that. And I want to see the clans given the love they deserve. We've built a good game in the last 5 years, so the next 5 years should be spent building communities.
Now, I've had a great time in RuneScape in the last 5 years. I know a load of you have as well. The next 5 years, we're going to have a wonderful journey together. There's so much more to come, so much more fun to be had. I'll see you there.
One thing I would like to say to the community is just thank you for being you. We are one huge, big, slightly at times dysfunctional family, but I think that's what makes Old School great.
I would like to say to the community, thank you. We wouldn't be here without you. You are truly at the heart of everything we do, and please stay awesome, stay with us, and we'll do everything we can to make the game the best it can be for you guys.
Okay, I was just asked if I wanted to say anything to the community. So what I'd like to say to you, I'm not really allowed to say because it's a bit explicit, I guess. Just be mindful that behind the gold crown is a person who loves the game just as much as you do. We want to make the game enjoyable for you. Treat everybody else with respect, players, staff alike. We couldn't have done the last 5 years without you, and we're looking forward to working with you for the next 5 years.
The one thing I'd like to say to the community is thank you. You guys have made it possible for me to do this job, and I'm so humbled to see the different responses that you guys make to content that we produce.
If I could say anything to the Old School community, it would be that it's been a pleasure working with you, and as well as that with you too, on social media and design streams. You've given me feedback which I've been able to implement and shape the game into something that you actually want, and I hope to continue to work with you over the coming years to do just that.
I think I'd like to say to the players, thank you. You've given me opportunities here that I could never have imagined, and I'm very, very grateful, and I'm having a lovely time.